one, which is called Getting Comfortable with Visual Aids. So in every one of these assignments we heard the icebreaker, we heard a speech structure, organize your speech. There's gestures, there's vocal ranges, doing a research project. There's persuading, there's inspiring. In this case, it's using visual aids. The title of your speech, and it's...
Let's Take a Road Trip.
Thank you very much. Title of the speech is Let's Take a Road Trip. Please welcome Melissa Hayes.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. My name is Melissa, and I'm also the Vice President of Education for this club for, I think this is my third week now. So this evening, I would like to take you all on a road trip. But the first thing we need to do when we start a road trip is to have a destination in place. So in this case, because we're here at Toastmasters, our destination will be our goals. So, the first thing we ask all of our new members to do is to fill out one of these new member profile forms. If you haven't already, just see me on the break and I'll give you one. And what this does is just ask questions and find out what your goals are, what your weaknesses are. So that's our destination. And the next thing we need if we're taking a road trip is an itinerary. We don't just want to start haphazardly driving all over the place. So Toastmasters makes that really easy for us because they give us these two manuals. A Competent Communicator, which is your 10 speeches, and a Competent Leadership Manual, which is 10 leadership projects. Now, if you're like me, you probably focus only on this book, getting your 10 speeches done. And the problem with that is that leadership and communication are two branches on the same tree. And without one, the tree looks funny, doesn't it? So it's very easy to fill out your Competent Leadership Manual. In fact, everyone's doing that project right now just by taking on roles. I would say just look at the last page and that shows you how easy it is. So the next thing that we want to do after we've got our destination and our itinerary is to get a roadmap. So once you have filled out your new member profile form, you will receive, if you haven't already in your email, a personalized roadmap of how you're going to reach your goals. These are your objectives, and they're not just a template. These are specific for the individual. I'm not going to read yours out, Marcus, but I just want to show you. I put your goal here. Then your executive team comes up with a plan exactly how you can achieve it and a timeline to do it. So this is not a 6-year plan, this is a 6-month plan. Like we're going to New York and we're not going to get there sometime in 2018, we want to be there next week, right? So another thing that comes in handy once we have all these things on a road trip is to have a GPS, so that every now and then we can take a glance at the map and see where we're at. So now in this club we have this, our GPS. And this will be present at each meeting so you can have a quick glance, see your name and where you're at in the CC manual and the CL manual. And where your other members are at too. Now this isn't up to date, I'll make it up to date tonight. And these are not all of our members either, but this is just an example. And of course, no road trip would be advisable without roadside assistance. And lucky for all of you, your roadside assistance comes in the form of mentors. We have 4 mentors in this club. Raj, our president. George, our treasurer. Barry, who is my mentor and king around the Toastmasters world internationally, not just here. And myself. So when I put together your goal and objective plan, I will assign you a mentor. Your mentor will meet with you every 3 months, take a look at your goals, your objectives, how you're doing. They are also available to you every week. Let's say you're doing your icebreaker or another speech, you're having problems. You can call them up and say, hey, I'm having trouble, or what do you recommend? They'll also be watching you every week. and giving you feedback as you go so that you can really get to your destination faster. And then finally, once you get to your destination, you might decide that you'd like to look a little bit beyond the horizon. For example, if you've come to Vancouver, you get here and say, well, hey, this city's great, but what else is around here? So maybe you go to Victoria or Whistler. Well, with Toastmasters, there's a leadership track and there's a communications track. This is where we all start. And as I said before, most of us just focus on completing that competent communicator manual, the 10 speeches. Now I ask you, is there anybody in this room who could do 10 speeches and confidently say that they were a great public speaker or a confident public speaker? Probably not, right? No. So, you can do your Confident Leadership Manual at the same time, very easy to do. You can go on and get your Advanced Communication Bronze level, which is just doing 2 more advanced manuals. Anyways, you can keep going until eventually you become a distinguished Toastmaster. What I also call the shit. And yes, I said it, I'm sorry, okay? Because it is the most prestigious, highest recognition that a Toastmaster can achieve. And I know some of you are saying, well, actually, Melissa, I didn't sign up to be a professional Toastmaster, and neither did I. But I did sign up to improve my public speaking skills, so I can be confident, and improve my leadership skills, so I can run my kids into the ground when they're trying to drive me up the wall. So that's my pitch of why we should all take a road trip. But there's one element that we need before any of this. Because without this one element, all of this is irrelevant. And that's the fuel in the tank. And the fuel in the tank is your own motivation and your own commitment, which we can't give you, but we can certainly help you once you put the fuel in the tank to get to your destination. So, who wants to go on a road trip?